So in this video, I want to talk about how you can use the platform to track student progress on content. This is, of course, the focus areas, the three lines. And it's, in fact, the system lists things in order of priority, right? Projects with the cognitive skills are worth the most, then power focus areas, then additionals, and then challenge. Now, notice that if the student completes a focus area, it turns green with a check mark on the system. If they attempt a focus area that is not yet due and do not pass it, like this student has, they has 2 attempts on this one right here, then it stays clear. It only turns a different color if you don't pass it once it's overdue. So let's look at a student who has actually struggled to stay on track and see what their colors look like on their year screen. So if you see this student right here has not passed this content assessment, even though the line is already past it. And so here you see it turn red. So it will turn red every time it's overdue. And that also will cause the student to be off track on their grades. So we'll show you that in a second. But the year page is a great place to actually see the student's overall performance because it will show you the future, all the focus areas which are yet to come. It will show you the past, all the focus areas that have already passed, and the present line, which is this line, vertical line, that shows you where students should be. So another place that you can see this kind of information is by clicking on the focus area itself. So if you click on a focus area, it will show you whether or not the student has actually completed the focus area and what the score was. And if you go to see all takes, you will see all the different attempts that student took in order to achieve that. We would love to see less attempts, but this student particularly struggles with passing content assessments. So that's why it's a part of the demo. Now, if a student has not yet passed, right, or attempted the content assessment, then you would just have nothing when you log in inside. If the student has not passed, but has already attempted, you will see the score and the different objectives with information about which objectives, how you did on each objective, which can help you identify the areas that I should focus on to study for the future. On the progress screen, you can also see information about focus areas. Every time you pass the focus area, there will be in the actual progress screen a little check mark showing that they mastered that focus area and the score that they got. And remember, you got at least 8 to pass it. By the way, every time they submit or get a score for a project or checkpoint within the project, they would also be listed here on the progress screen. Now, if you go to the actual course, let's say I go to science, notice that it says that the student is off track, and that's because they have not passed those focus areas. So even if you have a good cognitive skill average, this student has a pretty good project grade because they did not keep up with the far focus areas. They're considered to be off track. Now there still be a C overall at the end of the year, but they're off track in the system because of that. So there's 2 ways of being off track. If you're doing bad on projects overall, or if you actually have a project behind, that will also cause you to be off track. So there's 3 ways. And if you're off track because you're behind in a power focus area. Now, if you go to their power focus areas, you see that I'm actually going to switch here to English so we can see a different one. You can see all the focus areas that have not even been started yet. No attempts taken. Student has not really clicked on anything inside. Focus areas that have been mastered show in this category and the score, how many times they tried it, and how long ago they passed it. And the focus areas that have not yet been mastered will show up on the top. These are the ones they have tried but not passed at all. Now, if you have tried and not passed and they're behind, overdue, it will show up here at the top as a red one. Now, the demo is not doing that to this, but it should be because it is overdue. So normally in the demo, this will show, the real one, they will show red if it's already overdue. If they just tried it, but they're not past it, it will show up here without it being red, the way it is here, but this should have been red. You can also go to the additional focus areas tab and to get a similar screen, but this student has not tried or started on any additionals yet. So that's how you can use the Summit platform in order to track student progress in their content assessments. By the way, in the actual grade breakdown, right here at the top, you have an overall picture of the grade that the student is getting for power focus areas, which in this course counts for about 14% of their overall grade. Remember, that's the more important ones, an additional 6%, but they have a 0 because they have not passed a single one of them. And you also see the projects here at the top. We'll talk more about that later. I'll see you guys on the next video.